Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So nice of you to join us, and thank you again for all the support you've given me over the years. Today, I'm trying to come back to you and tell you what I eat in a day. And so many people have asked me, hey doc, what do you do to stay in shape? You're always fit. So the answer is, it varies, right? You are what you eat, no doubt. But the key to that is it's a very dynamic process for me, meaning that if I'm doing a cardio day, or if I'm doing a weight day, or if I'm just chilling, I alter and mix up what I eat. In general, I'm on a high protein, low carb for the most part, because I'm always trying to build muscle. But on the days when I'm ramping up my cardio and want to build my heart health, I am pushing some carbohydrates so I can maintain the energy for that workout. And then lastly, if I'm not really doing much, I try to limit it. So let me show you, and let's start. Hey guys, I'm Dr. Nene, a US trained cardiac, thoracic, and vascular surgeon, and a general surgeon. As a healthcare innovator and a health tech innovator, I want to empower you to your best health ever. On this channel, we will share evidence-based medicine from all of us to you through our experiences and training about health and healthcare. The goal is to help you make informed decisions about your own health as well as that of your loved ones. We're here for you, so don't hesitate to reach out. All right, so for breakfast, generally I'm up pretty early, and you'll see in my workout video how I behave in a day and what I do. But in order to fuel that, I am usually on a high protein, low carb, and something of a Mediterranean diet. And so eggs for me are a substantial part of this. And generally what I'll do is eat the egg whites, not a lot of the yolks, because I do have a little bit of high cholesterol. And then lots of olives, avocados, and lettuce to make sure that I get both a healthy combination of fats as well as some fiber to keep me regular. So I would say you keep that in your meal, certainly when you're strength training, but I would say even if you keep it as part of your routine, it's a good move. So on the days that I'm doing cardio, I like to have a little bit of carbohydrates on board. And I'll either do it now or I'll do it after the workout. Oatmeal for me works great. It kind of coats and soothes your insides. It's a comfort food, and you can douse it with a little bit of added fun with raisins and almond flakes, and then maybe even add a little bit of honey to that, and it makes for an amazing, amazing breakfast. So oatmeal is definitely in my diet, at least once a week, maybe more than that. So between breakfast and lunch, at about 10:30, 11 o'clock, I'll usually drop in a protein shake so I can increase my overall protein. And it's usually a whey protein, but it's very low in lactose. So this stuff works well for me. Doesn't matter the brand you have, but for me, I like to keep up on it. And it gives me an added benefit that I don't get so hungry between breakfast and lunch. So definitely something to add, particularly if you're strength training. On those days where I'm punching weight and stuff like that, I really like to do this so that I can build muscle. So for lunch, I have fish or chicken or paneer, because I have been told to stay away from red meats, and there's nothing healthier than roasted or grilled fish with some Indian spices. To that, they've added some salad and some avocado and onions, and you cannot top this for lunch, sorry. And very easy to make, all things being equal, but something I definitely do at least once a week. On other days, I'll have some type of other protein, either chicken or paneer or something like that. Now with paneer, I am lactose intolerant, so I can't do a lot of that. And more often than not, I'll do soya chops or non-milk based proteins. But again, high protein, low carb. This one is more of a Mediterranean style diet than a high protein, low carb. And it's certainly not a keto diet. So for me, I think that works. So this is one of my all-time favorites, avocado toast. Avocado in India is A, very expensive, and B, we're only starting to get it in good quality and quantities. But in the US, I used to eat it all the time because we would have avocados in our backyard. But it's a very, very healthy way to get a combination of protein, fat, and fiber. And it doesn't take much to make it, whether you're on your own or whether you have someone making it for you. And so I would drop this in at about 4 o'clock or so in between lunch and dinner as a nashta item. And then you can have some tea or coffee with it or whatever you like. There's nothing that beats fresh fruit in India because most of it is tree or vine ripened, and it's not being processed and brought to you from far away. And so I try to make it a staple of my diet, and at least once in the day bring it in. Now, sometimes, depending on my day, if I'm doing a high intensity cardio workout, then I will certainly augment it with fruit because I need the carbs. And by comparison, if it's more sedentary days, I'll go to the avocado toast, which I talked about before. But I would say fruit has to be a part of your diet because it is so critical to get the right vitamins and nutrients from it, as well as the natural sugars. That was one thing I was gonna add, and I did that in a separate episode. I don't add sugar to anything. At most, if I want a little bit of sweetness, I'll add stevia, or I'll add something like that, but I will never add sugar, exogenous sugar, to things. And most of the sweets I'll eat are natural. So that's something to keep in mind. Finally, we're waiting on dinner. And for me, dinner depends on if we have had a long day or a short day. But in either case, I like to eat early. That way I don't have reflux. And I like to eat lighter. Everyone always says eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper. And there's a reason for that. The time you need the calories the most is in the morning and the afternoon, not in the evening when you go to bed. And the biggest mistake people make from a social standpoint is everyone convenes together at dinner time and you eat your biggest meal. And it's often in India, as well as much of Europe, very, very late. It ends up, causing huge amounts of reflux, and also can give you a caloric mismatch to your activity, and therefore you end up eating more than you need to at a time when you don't need it. So you'll see the dinner as a soup, and actually I do soup sometimes because it's much lighter. In my life, I've always had something. It might be a salad and a protein shake, or it might be some lean protein with some salad or something like that, but that's what I would do for dinner. The one thing I am not a fan of, and I've told you this in the past, is just fasting for the sake of fasting. And I know that's the big trend with intermittent fasting and all that. I just end up getting too hungry. What I would rather do is eat smaller portions more regularly, and thereby my eyes aren't bigger than my stomach and I go and eat everything in sight. Second thing is I try to protein load because I'm trying to build muscle most of the time. And I try to do it with lean proteins, with less fat, and with lots of salads and veggies so that I can maintain my bowel health and whatnot. The last thing is, and we'll talk about it in the episode, do you add vitamins or not? And so that's a question which I'll save for another episode in Mythbusters. But anyway, this is what I do in a day. I'd love to hear what you do. Please leave it in the comments below. I've also left some references as to best practices. As always, if you like what we say, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so we can give you all the new updates. And never, ever forget to share this with your friends so that they can get the best. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.